Today the world feels a little quieter. From the stages of Morocco to the stadiums of Italy, we've lost the legends who shaped our history. These are the final stories of the icons we said goodbye to on May 8, 2026. A tribute to greatness that will never be forgotten. Joni was a pioneering force in global faith-based media, a visionary broadcaster who didn't just share a message but built one of the largest communication platforms in the world to touch millions of lives. Rising from the early days of local Christian television to co-founding the Daystar television network, Lam stood as a rare titan who bridged the gap between traditional ministry and modern satellite broadcasting. As the insightful host of Joni Table Talk, she pioneered a unique style of conversational media, forever influencing the genre of faith-based talk shows, while famously using her platform to address complex social and spiritual issues with a blend of grace and uncompromising conviction. Her leadership eventually expanded Daystar into a global powerhouse reaching over 100 million homes in the United States and billions worldwide, proving that her vision was as impactful in the international broadcast booth as it was in her local community. While other media figures focused solely on entertainment, Lam thrived in the raw reality of spiritual outreach, bringing a visceral, compassionate energy to the screen that offered hope to the hopeless. Her legacy is found not just in the vast network of satellites and studios she helped build, but in the profound integrity she brought to her work as a mentor, a mother, and a trailblazer for women in religious leadership. As the final curtain falls on May 7, 2026, we remember a woman who believed that a visionary's greatest weapon was the heart to listen and the courage to speak truth, ensuring that her legend will never fade so long as the message of faith continues to light up the screens of the world. Punch McLean, the architect of an era. In the world of collegiate athletics, there are coaches who win games, and then there are legends who build entire cultures. Today we are reflecting on the incredible life of Punch McLean, the man whose name became synonymous with the spirit of the Old Dominion. Punch passed away on May 8, 2026 at the age of 93. Born on May 15, 1932, he spent his long and storied life proving that a coach's true value isn't measured in trophies alone, but in the character of the players he leaves behind. Punch was the visionary head coach of the Hampton-Sydney Tigers, where he spent over 2 decades roaming the sidelines. During his tenure from 1951 to 1974, he became the winningest coach in the college's history, turning a small-town program into a powerhouse of grit and determination. He didn't just teach the game of football, he taught young men how to be leaders, how to handle adversity, and how to represent their community with pride. Known for his sharp mind and even sharper wit, Punch was a father figure to generations of athletes who still carry his lessons today. As the flags fly at half-mast, we say goodbye to a titan of the gridiron. A man who proved that with enough heart, a small school could leave a giant footprint on the world of sports. Rest in peace, Coach Abdelwahab Doukhali, the maestro of the Maghreb. Morocco has lost its most profound musical heartbeat. On May 8, 2026, the legendary Abdelwahab Doukhali took his final bow in Casablanca at the age of 85. Born in the spiritual city of Fez on January 2, 1941, he was never just a singer. He was the architect of a nation's modern soul. Known affectionately as the Grand Maestro, Doukhali spent over 60 years blending the deep roots of traditional Moroccan music with a sophisticated global flair. He was a rebel who picked up an oud and decided to rewrite the rules of the Arab world sound. His masterpieces like Marsal al-Hab and Kenya Ma Ken became the soundtrack for millions, bridging the gap between the old world and the new. But his brilliance didn't stop at the microphone. He was a Renaissance man who found equal peace in front of a canvas as a painter and on the silver screen as an actor. He was honored by kings and world leaders, receiving the highest accolades from Cairo to the Vatican. Today the messenger of love is silent, but his melodies remain a permanent part of the air we breathe and the history we share. Rest in peace, Maestro. Nicola Colombo, the man who saved Monza. If you follow the passion of Italian football, you know that some victories happen off the pitch. We are mourning the loss of a true savior, Nicola Colombo, who passed away on May 8, 2026 at the age of 57. Born on May 10, 1968, Nicola was a man of the soil who refused to let his hometown club AC Monza fade into history. In 2015, when the club was bankrupt and broken, facing total disappearance after a century of pride, Nicola stepped in with his own hands and heart. As chairman from 2015 to 2018, he didn't just manage a team. He resurrected a community's identity. He led Monza from the amateur depths of Serie D back into the professional spotlight, winning the national title and laying the bedrock for the club's eventual rise to Serie A. He was the vital bridge between a bankrupt past and a glorious future. Though he eventually sold the club to the Berlusconi Group, Monza fans know that without Nicola's courage during those dark years, the club wouldn't exist today. This weekend, as the players wear their black armbands, we remember a leader who proved that loyalty to your roots is the ultimate win. Aurora's Encore, the underdog of Aintree. In the world of horse racing, we are saying goodbye to a legend that reminded us all to never stop believing in the impossible. The death of Aurora's Encore was announced on May 8, 2026, at the age of 23. Born in Ireland in 2002, this incredible thoroughbred became the star of one of the greatest fairy tales in sporting history. He will forever be remembered for that magical afternoon in April 2013 at the Grand National. Entering the race as a massive 66-1 outsider, nobody, not the experts, not the bookmakers, gave him a chance. But as he thundered across the turf at Aintree, he showed the heart of a giant, jumping perfectly and galloping into history to claim the world's most famous steeplechase. He gave his trainer Sue Smith and jockey Ryan Mania a moment that will be retold for generations. After retiring in 2014, he spent 12 peaceful years in the green pastures of West Yorkshire, where fans would often visit just to catch a glimpse of the horse that beat the odds. Aurora's Encore lived a full life, leaving behind a legacy that proves being an outsider doesn't mean you can't be a champion. Jake Hall. There are some losses that leave a community completely breathless, and the passing of Jake Hall is one of them. The news broke on May 8, 2026, that the 27-year-old defender for Walsall Wood FC has left us far too soon. Born in 1999, Jake wasn't just a player on a pitch. He was the heartbeat of his club and a hero to the fans in the stands. Known for his incredible strength, his unwavering dedication, and a smile that could brighten the darkest locker room, Jake represented everything that is pure about local football. He was a man who played for the badge, putting his heart into every tackle and every minute of the game. The outpouring of love from his teammates and rivals alike shows the kind of impact he had, not just as an athlete but as a genuine, kind-hearted human being. Walsall Wood has lost a brother, and the sport has lost a bright light. As the football world stands in silence to honor him, we remember Jake not just for the matches he won, but for the spirit he brought to the game. He leaves behind a legacy of passion and a void that won't easily be filled. Rest in peace, Jake. Kapila Chandrasena. The business world is currently mourning a titan of Sri Lankan industry who helped shape the nation's modern infrastructure. Kapila Chandrasena passed away on May 8, 2026, at the age of 61. Born in 1964, Kapila was far more than just a corporate executive. He was a visionary engineer and a strategist who was entrusted with steering some of Sri Lanka's most critical national assets during times of immense change. His career was a masterclass in leadership. Kapila served as the CEO of Sri Lankan Airlines and Maheen Lanka, where he navigated the complex and turbulent skies of the global aviation industry. Not stopping at the wings of the nation, he also led SLT Mobitel, the country's telecommunications giant, ensuring that Sri Lanka remained connected to the digital world. He was a leader who understood that behind every balance sheet and flight path were thousands of employees and millions of citizens relying on his decisions. Known for his technical brilliance and his calm, steady hand, Kapila was the go-to leader for big-picture challenges. Though his career was marked by the intense pressure of the public eye, His contributions to the nation's connectivity, both in the air and through the wire, leave an indelible mark on the country's progress. He was a pillar of the Sri Lankan corporate legacy who truly kept the nation moving forward.